How do you find, train, and pay a VA? We have a course for that. It's a bit outdated, but the principles are still the same. That hasn't changed. We have a course called Outsource Kingpin. The idea is to set up some tests that you run candidates through. Again, I'm going to run out of time, so I'm not going to go through the whole process, but we have a course called Outsource Kingpin about that. The idea is to set up what I call a hiring funnel, which is just a sequence of simple tasks where you provide the instructions on how to execute those tasks. And you have candidates apply by saying, like, they're, by asking them to execute those tasks as per your instructions. You don't want them winging it. You don't want them iterating. You want them following instructions. And if they deliver the end result and it wasn't exactly as you listed the instruction, you provide step-by-step instructions for how to execute whatever it is you want, setting up a blog, for example, whatever. And then they deliver that to you. And if it isn't done exactly the way that your instructions described, then they're automatically disqualified because they just proven they can't follow instructions. That's the easiest thing to do, because a lot of candidates that want to apply for the virtual assistant position that you're hiring for, they won't even go through the process of executing the task that you ask them to execute to prove that they're worthy of hiring, because they're lazy and they don't want to. I'm not working for nothing. Well, then you don't want the damn job bad enough. There will be some that will do it. And those are people that are hungry enough that they're willing to put forth a little bit of effort to prove that they're valuable, that they can follow instructions. So then those that submit whatever it is that you ask them to execute for review, like they submit it for review, if they didn't follow the instructions that you provided to a T, they're automatically disqualified, because even though they put forth the effort, they didn't follow instructions. And that means if they didn't follow instructions now, they're likely going to not follow instructions later too. So you can disqualify people that's the key to hiring, is disqualifying people as soon as possible. And so we set up, again, Outsource Kingpin. We teach how to do that. So, I mean, that's an old course, but it's the exact same process we use to hire people. Put people through a series of tasks where you provide them detailed instructions on how to execute that task. Let them deliver the work. A lot of candidates won't even execute the task because they won't do it without getting paid. Fine, they're not hungry enough. Those that will execute the task, review their work. Did they follow it to a T? If they did, they can move on to the next stage of the hiring process, which may be an interview or a second stage of tests. I always recommend a second stage of tests. And then so you start off with 100 candidates at first, you're going to wipe out half of them with that first set of tests. Then you might get, 25, 30 of them that will actually execute a second series of tests. And out of that, you might end up with 5 or 6 candidates that have made it through, that have followed instructions. Now, those are the people that you spend time interviewing. And the ones that communicate the best are the ones that you hire. They've already proven they can follow instructions. They already proven that they're hungry enough that they went through 2 series of tests. And then now it's a matter of how well can we communicate with each other. If we communicate well, you're hired. If it's strained communication, then I'm sorry, probably not the best candidate, but I'll keep you on file in case another opening becomes available. Does that make sense?